Welcome to another exciting episode of Behind the Bay. And today I am joined with our manager at Little Sisters Barstow, our very, very beloved location, known to truck drivers all over the, not country, but all over the world. We've got truck drivers that have come to this location, and today we are going to be having a conversation with Deanna Youngblood, who is the manager of this location. And before she was a manager, she was a cashier in all the different shifts. She has been part of the Little Sisters family for 28 years. And today she's going to share with us some exciting stories about the history of Barstow, the town, Little Sisters, and we get to relive some of those memories with her. So please join us for this episode of Behind the Bay. So speaking of Boron, can we just talk a little bit about the town, Barstow? So have you been here your whole life?
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Mm-hmm. Not too many people can say that.
No.
Okay, so what are some interesting factoids? Is that a word? That's the second time I used that today.
It is now. It's a factoid.
What are some interesting factoids about the town of Barstow?
So Barstow, we're known as a little town with a big heart. And it's absolutely 100% true. We have a historical drive-in. Not many of those left. We have one out in Skyline, not too far outside of town.
The drive-in
theater.
Theater, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like you drive in with your car and put the on your radio, put the what do you call it? The sound on the radio and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. I remember being out here and there was nothing out here but rip off. It's really grown a lot, tremendously. So.
And I remember you told me one of the first times I came here that Barstow is home to the first and second Del Taco.
We have the original Del Taco. The actual original Del Taco, I believe, is in Yermo. That's still there. Then we actually have three. We have the one out here in Linwood, and then we have the two in town. And if you go anywhere else and eat a Del Taco, it's not the same as ours. It's not. People who move away, they come back, and before they even see their loved ones, they stop at Del Taco.
That's amazing.
I promise you that, because they miss it. I actually just recently went to Vegas and took my niece some food from Del Taco.
You took Del Taco from here to Vegas? I know they have Del Tacos in Vegas.
They do, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
So Barstow's home of special. So Del Taco, you're more than welcome to sponsor us. We can.
Yeah.
We give burritos to all our
right. My
watchers.
son works there too. So the one out in Linwood. So
very cool.
Yeah.
What else is Barstow famous? So we have also rail.
Oh yeah, the railroad. Oh yeah, big time. And my grandfather actually came from Mexico and brought my uncle and their families here. So I'm a railroad brat. Like
they all moved here to work on the railroad.
Yep. And my father retired from the railroad. My grandpa, my uncle. I have so much family that works for the railroad, and it started with my
what's
grandpa.
What's really interesting about that is, I know we've talked about this, that they're doing a big expansion. So there's a really big project here in Barstow, and we'll see, how that unfolds in the next couple of years. But apparently they're going to have a huge project here related to the rail company. So that's exciting. That's exciting for us too.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, it's huge and it's amazing. It's going to be amazing for the town.
Yeah.
It's going to bring a lot of jobs.
What's interesting about Barstow, every time I come here, so as I'm coming north, there's like where we are right now. You guys call it Linwood? Okay, so the street, obviously the exit is Linwood. So you have this little pocket here, which is like, it's almost like it's like a beehive of just trucks just swarming. I mean, Pilot is here, and Love's, and TA, and all these like food places, and there's a little outlet, and we're here, Little Sisters is here. And then you keep going, but then you have like another stretch of desert. And then you think like, oh, that's Barstow? And it's like, no, there's a whole nother town further north. So is it kind of like two different vibes? Like there's a sort of like energy here, and then what's it like on that part of Barstow?
On the other part of Barstow, it's like that's in town.
Yeah.
That's like in town. And then this is kind of like just a little bit outside of town. But that's more where everybody's homes are at. Not that there aren't homes out here in Linwood, but that's where the majority of Barstow is. That's,
What has Little Sisters, so as someone who's born and raised here and lived here your whole life, what's it been like for you to be part of this Little Sisters family for a very long time? So I've spoken about this with other episodes with other managers, but you've been here for over 20 years. I don't
28.
even 28 years.
Mhm,
That's
28.
that's a long time. So
Yeah.
very very early on, and you stayed, and we're very very grateful to have you. That's not a short time. That's a long period of time. So
Yeah.
what has that meant for you through all these years?
It's been a lot. I of course started working here just looking for my paycheck. I
Yeah.
had my son young. I needed to make sure I had money for formula and diapers and of course Nikes for his cute little feet. But it meant it grew on me. I learned to appreciate the truck and the trucking industry and how important it is to America and what these drivers do and what they sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
They're not home. They don't see their families. They miss those first steps. They miss a lot, you know. But they're making sure that they keep America running.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually, I learned to love. The trucking industry and of course their equipments. They have beautiful equipment. Some of the trucks that come through here are just drop dead gorgeous. So it's meant a lot. I was able to work full time as well as provide for my family and be present as a mother. You know, so.
That's interesting. You mentioned that. So you're a hands-on mom. You're a baseball mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're at all the games, and that's amazing. We love that. And then at the same time, when you notice, so I guess because of that, because of how important that is for you, then you also notice how a lot of these drivers are away from their families.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of appreciating that struggle and that like challenge that they face.
Yeah, that's why I call it a sacrifice because
Yeah.
they're literally sacrificing that family time, you know, to give us what we need, all us consumers.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for them.
I think that's really important for people to hear. When I first started doing this job, people used to be like, trucking? Trucks? Like, trucks get washed? And I'll be like, you don't understand how impactful this industry is. Everything you've touched your hands on since you woke up this morning came to you on the back of a truck.
Mm-hmm.
And someone was driving that truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have driverless trucks yet.
No, oh
Not
my
looking
gosh.
forward to that.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That scares me tremendously.
I don't know.
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's too much weight in those trucks to
Yeah.
not have a human behind that wheel.
Yeah, seriously.
Steering wheel.
And then we'd like, miss out on all these amazing like stories and,
Yeah,
legacies.
I'm excited to see what Silas, the interviews that he's going to be having with the customers. I'm really excited to hear those stories.
Yeah. Any cool stories that you've come across throughout all these years? Like interesting things that come to mind that you'd like to share?
Yeah, actually, we washed and polished Optimus Prime.
Whoa.
For the Transformer movie. And I believe it was the very first one. I'm almost positive it was the very first one because it's been some time now, quite some time. And at the time, my youngest son, to this day, he's still a big Transformer fan. And I had asked the driver, like, hey, can I take a picture? And he was like, no, I'm really not supposed to let people take pictures. You know, it's for the movie and this and that, you know. And I was like, I promise I won't share, you know. I hope I don't get him in trouble. And he allowed me so I could go home and get mom kudos and show my son.
Nice.
Yeah, and it absolutely made his day. He was like, Mom, that's so cool, you know. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I actually just watched Transformers the other day and was like, hey, we washed and polished that truck for that movie. So
that is amazing.
Yeah,
shout out to our friend Hassan. I know he's gonna watch this, and he is the cheesiest Transformers fan.
Oh, is
I
he?
make fun of him about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Hassan and Growth University. So I know he's gonna watch this and appreciate that. So that's very cool. Optimus Prime. What other fun or cool experiences or crazy stuff too?
I think another cool one would be we get a lot of classic cars. So they just had I believe it's an auction at Pebble Beach.
Okay.
And so I have seen beautiful classic cars come through here. Occasionally they'll open them up and let us peek. We're not,
very nice.
you know, I don't know if they're allowed to do that, but
yeah.
I've seen beautiful cars that I probably would never see in my lifetime. These cars are worth millions of dollars. Outrageous, but
and then a lot of it has to do with the polish too, because I mean we were taking a look at that coming in, and the number of people I've met and said hello to out here that come from all over the country to get polished is remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, it just always amazes me.
We actually have people who come from all over the countries.
Wow.
There's people that come from Canada just to polish here.
International.
Yeah, international. There's people that come from Mexico just to polish here. So they'll get a load going to LA, and then they drive that far out of their way from LA to come and see Henry, the polish master himself, and get polished and then go back.
That's amazing. That's
Truly
incredible.
is amazing, yes.
Yeah. So you've been here since the beginning, throughout all the years, and you saw when it was, I mean, I've only heard stories, but you've told me, and so many other people have told me, that it used to be so crowded over here that the sheriff would come and say, what are you guys doing? You're holding up traffic on the street.
The sheriff, so back in the day when I first started here, I think the most trucks we ever washed in 8 hours, only 8 hours, was 110 trucks.
What?
110 trucks in 8 hours on a Sunday.
Did you hear that?
So we had all 6 bays going. We had the lines going around all the way. And then right here's the entrance to the freeway. Yeah. And we would block the entrance to the freeway. And the sheriff would come and say, hey, you guys need to do something. You're blocking the entrance. And my uncle, who was the shift leader at the time, may he rest in peace, told the sheriff, I'll give you a brush. You can help us. We're washing as fast as we can, you know? Like, if you want to help us. And the sheriff kind of chuckled at him and like, no, I'm not going to do that, but we need to do something. And my uncle basically told him, like, hey, we're washing as fast as we can. Yeah. We're doing the best that we can, and I do miss those days, but the trucking industry has changed tremendously since then. But 110 trucks in 8 hours.
In one shift. That's not even the whole day.
Correct.
There's still 2 other shifts.
One shift, yeah. Back in those days, we were 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I originally started working here, graveyard.
Okay, I have a question for you. Day 1. Do you remember your first day at Little Sisters?
I do, actually.
Can you walk us through that?
I do. I was very nervous, as one would be. It was probably my 3rd job ever that I'd had. I was 18 or 19 years old, and back in those days, even though it was graveyard, you would think, oh, it's going to be slow. No, we ran 3 bays almost all night long. The shift leader at the time was Joe McFan, who is a big, well-known and respected guy in Little Sisters, and may he also rest in peace. He was the supervisor at the time. Well, back in those days, a lot of people only carried cash. There wasn't credit card. There wasn't no Cash App. There was none of that. It was all cash. So here at Griffin's, people were getting robbed. Drivers were getting robbed for their cash. And it was a big thing all in town, And the windows outside, if people are familiar with it, when the lights are on, you can see in, but the person inside cannot see out. So I was really nervous about getting robbed. And Joe said, don't you worry. I got your back. Nobody's gonna come in here and get away. He said, if they come in here, they're not gonna get away. And we just left it at that. And he was like, me and the guys got your back. Don't you worry. And I was very comforted, but I was very nervous, not only because it was my first time, my first job, not really my first, but one of my first few jobs. And then being that what was going on right next door had me pretty nervous. But no, we were busy. It was busy all night long. I was worried about, oh my gosh, I have to stay up all night. How am I going to stay up, because one's natural clock does not run to be up all night, But we were so busy, it wasn't hard at all. Busy, just keep going.
Wow. How long did you stay in graveyard?
I'm going to say a couple years. Maybe 2 to 3 years. So at first I just started part-time grave, and then I went to full-time grave, and then I went to grave, 2 nights grave and 2 nights swing. And then I went to day shift where I was the longest, and then from day to manager.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I literally worked. Yeah.
So you've seen all different phases and chapters and times. Yeah. But that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that story. That I think that's really good feeling of safety, and that your supervisor at the time and the crew and the team is like, hey, we're going to work together. We're all here working. We're all going to keep each other safe. So that's very, That's very encouraging. I'm glad you shared that. Thank you for that. That was a very special time. And for me, not having been part of Little Sisters at that time, but it's really something that I enjoy listening to and hearing those stories and still trying to like imagine, appreciate, and thinking about all those personalities. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course.
Deanna, it's a pleasure always talking to you. Every time we have a conversation about Barstow, about Little Sisters here, you have something new to tell me or share. I always appreciate it, and I always appreciate our conversations. And we're going to do more of these. We're gonna have more conversations. We want to hear more from you.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.